We are live today. We are going to build an entire startup using Claude Code from beginning to end. I'm going to show you how to plan out your idea, come up with ideas for your app, then transition to Claude Code, start building it out, ship the app, get users. We're covering it all. You can put your questions in the chat, in the replies down below. Make sure to leave a like if the topic of this video is interesting to you so I know to make way more of it. Let's get into it. We got a lot of things to talk about and test today. Today, Anthropic launched Claude Haiku 4.5, which is their lightweight, fast model, which they claim is just as good as Sonnet 4.5 and better than like Codex and all of that. So let's get into that. Let's generate ideas for the app we're going to build today. Let's go to Claude. Let's test out the new model, come up with some ideas for the app. And have some fun. So let's do this. Let's share our screen. What is up, Taylor? Good to see you here. David, good to see you here. He can't play along because Claude's limits. Well, the good news, David, is they just released Haiku 4.5 today. So maybe your limits won't be an issue because it's cheaper and lighter. So let's share our screen. Let's get right into it. Coffee and Claude time. Well, yes, that's actually very accurate. Thank you, Anthropic. Cheers. It is coffee and Claude time. All right, let's come up. I'm going to turn off the thinking. Let's go. Haiku, fastest for quick answers. I like that. Let's do this. Let's test it out. Let's see what we think about it. What's up, DX? Here's what I want to build today. I'm becoming a fan of Polymarket. I like Polymarket. I like the business. I like the people. I like what they're doing. I want to build an app for Polymarket. And like, this is how you should think of things. This is how you should be thinking of things as you're building. We got Clifton in the house. What's up, Clifton? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. This is how you need to think about things. As you're doing things throughout the day, you see things you like, you see workflows you like, you see apps you like, you see people you like, whatever it is. If you want to have a builder's mindset, you got to think, okay, how do I build apps that make this better? For instance, I'm liking Polymarket. I like the idea of it. I like the app. I like the team. I like the owner, all that. I've been thinking lately, okay, how can I build apps or experiences for Polymarket? Right? Like I liked X. I'm a huge fan of X. And so I built an experience around X, Creator Buddy, which now has hundreds of paid subscribers, $300,000 ARR. You build experiences around the things you love. So let's do this. Let's talk to Haiku 4.5. Let's say I'm a big fan. And here's another thing that's a big part of this as well. If you are a fan or like things early on, right? If you can jump on bandwagons early on and then build for that, then you're in a really good position, right? Like if I build like a really cool Polymarket app that takes off, I think Polymarket's going to explode. It hasn't even released in America yet, right? So we're early on. If this gets big, if this explodes, we're in good position. So I'm a big fan of Polymarket. I want to build an app around it. So if you're watching this video, whether you're live or the replay, here's what you do besides me. One, you can just hang out if you want to do nothing. That's totally fine. Just enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Let me turn on, by the way, the background. I like the background lo-fi music. Play. Setting. There we go. You can play, you can just watch, have fun, enjoy the show. I'd recommend doing this along with me. If you're at your computer, if you're on a bus with your phone out, phone the Claude as you're listening to me, and try this out with me. It doesn't have to be Polymarket, whatever you're a fan. You like Twitter, you like Instagram, you like Threads, whatever. Put in this prompt and work with me here. I'm a big fan of Polymarket. I want to build an app for it using Claude Code. I want to build some sort of scanner that presents interesting information about Polymarket bets using the Polymarket API. A lot of these apps too, they have APIs, right? So you can say just use their API and it hooks it up for you. Help me come up with interesting ideas for what this app can scan for and what it can do. We can make Haiku think. Should we give Haiku a little? Let's just. Yeah, let's see what Haiku has. Let's just see what Haiku does outside the box here, out of the box. Wow, it's fast. That was instant. That was as instant as it gets. I love this idea. Polymarket has a ton of fascinating data, and a scanner could surface really interesting patterns and opportunities. Here, I'm going to side-by-side this with, let's just side-by-side this with Sonnet. Let's side-by-side this with Sonnet 4.5 with extended thinking and just see how different it is. Let's compare. Should we just, here we go. I just sent this prompt out with Sonnet 4.5 with extended thinking. So let's just see how different they are. So it's doing a little bit more thinking. Anyway, we'll go back to Haiku here. Claude 4.5 is amazing. I am a code. I know what I am talking about. The problem is the exhaustion of tokens. Hope Haiku saves that. I think it will. Do I need to know how to code, or just these AI coding is enough? Dude, DX. That's the whole vibe of this channel, DX, is you don't need to know how to code. Just follow along with me. Follow along. Even if you've never coded before, follow along. I promise good things are going to happen. I promise. If you go, oh, I'm not going to do things I don't know how to code, you're not going to accomplish anything ever. You can't. Don't let there be barriers to you accomplishing your dreams. Anytime you see a barrier, destroy it. That's the beautiful thing about AI. That's the beautiful thing about AI. There are no more barriers. You should never ask, oh, do I need this prerequisite? Do I need this knowledge? Do I need to know this thing? No, DX. No. Do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, DX. Anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish. I promise you. I promise you, DX. With AI, that's the greatest thing about AI. That's the greatest thing about AI and why it's all worth it. Why them jacking up the energy prices for the entire world to infinite levels is worth it. Is because now anyone in any place with any skill set, as long as you have access to the internet, can do whatever you want. Anything you want to do, you can do it now. There are no more barriers, DX. Look at your shoulders. Look at your biceps and your triceps. You accomplished that incredible physique, DX, but you're not going to build because you might not know coding. That's going to be your barrier, DX? Are you kidding me? No. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter how little skills you have. With AI, you just do it. You just ask, and it tells you how to do it. Just do it, DX. No more questions like this. You just do it. Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? No, just do it. Let's zoom in a little bit here so you can see what I'm looking at. Let's zoom in. You just do it, DX. All right. I love this idea. Polymarket. Let's see. All right, we finished over here too. Let's see the difference between these two models. I love the idea. Polymarket has a ton of fascinating data, and Scanner can really surface interesting patterns and opportunities. Here are some compelling ideas for what your app could do. Let's just put this up against GPT-5 while we're at it, huh? Why don't we just put this up against GPT-5? Let me take this. I'm going to do a third tab with GPT-5. I'm going to do standard thinking over there. I'm going to hit send on that. So let's just do this real quick. We're going to have GPT-5 go over here as well. All right. Little test, little side-by-side test, huh? I pay out the wazoo for all these models. I might as well test them, right? All right. How do I use this in Claude Code, says Jack T. Well, I'll tell you exactly how to use this in Claude Code, Jack T. Just stick along. We'll get to the Claude Code phase of this in a little bit, but I'll show you how to do it. But Claude is really limited in terms of UI, don't you think? No. What do you mean? What? All right, this is actually a good question, Ashraf Al-Shrabagi. That's a really good question. What do you mean by that? What UI is missing that you'd like to see in Claude? I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious because I want to build apps that add on to the UI layer of these apps. What is missing from the UI that you would want out of Claude Code? It's much better than GPT-5 paid version anyways. I'll say this. I think GPT-5 is absolutely incredible. I still think Claude's a better coder at the moment. But GPT-5, I think, is the most revolutionary AI model ever. But Claude's better at coding. I love the idea. Polymarket 100. Okay. Identifying mispriced events by comparing Polymarket prices to external data like sports betting odds, prediction platforms, or real-world probabilities. I like that idea. It's just so AI intensive. That's so AI intensive. Flag markets where implied odds seem misaligned with recent news or developments. Track relative mispricing across related markets. If candidate A wins, is priced at 60, but candidate A wins in state X is priced too high. That's interesting, but this all requires a ton of AI and could be expensive. I'm thinking I want scanners for Polymarket that are like, wow, there's this insane spike in volume, or there's this absurdly large bet out of nowhere, because that is cheaper because it doesn't require AI, but it's still very valuable information. Can we try to build a mobile app sometime? Yeah, Randy, maybe I'll do like a recorded video on building a mobile app, because I get that request a lot. Alert when trading volume spikes. I like that. Track which markets are gaining the most interest over time periods. I like that. Identify trendy and forgotten markets and categorize them. I don't know what that means. Show markets with the biggest recent price movement. That's what I want to see. All right, so we like that. I'm going to go back and talk to the AI in a second and say we like that. Whale watching. Detect large trades and flag when smart money is moving positions. Yes. Track when major positions are open. Okay, let's start with this. What if I wanted to build a tracker of the best performers on Polymarket? Can we see that data? Is that available in the API? Like, who is making the most money and the biggest whales? Let's see what they got here. I wonder if that data is available to us. Thanks for pushing me. I follow you on X. And what's the best thing I can do to get more engagement on X? Love your stuff, by the way. Okay, so we're looking for X advice. Here's the single best thing you can do as this loads, DX. I'm going to go, when I give advice, I like to go in full screen mode so you can look me dead in my eyes as I tell you exactly what you need to do to accomplish your dreams. It's still loading back. We'll go back to what Claude's saying in a second. It's simple. If you want more engagement on X, if you want to grow more on X, really this is the advice for if you want to accomplish anything on social media. This is the advice you need. Find one thing you can get insanely good at. Not one thing you are insanely good at. One thing you can get insanely good at. I'll say this, DX, you're jacked to the fucking, I shouldn't curse, to the freaking, all I want to do is curse. I'm a big cursor. You're jacked, right? Talk about fitness. Say, give tips on fitness or whatever it is. Get insanely good at one thing and then talk about that thing over and over and over again and give value over and over and over again. That's how you get more engagement. That's how you grow. Now, the challenge is this, DX, right? The fitness space is pretty crowded. Everyone's giving fitness advice. So it's tough. The more crowded a space is, the harder it is to get more engagement and grow. But go after it. Try to niche out. Like for me, I talk about AI coding all the time, right? All I do is talk about AI coding because it's kind of niched down and I'm getting really good at it. And I'm working on it hard. And all I do is talk about it over and over again. And because of that, my following and my engagement has grown tremendously on X and on YouTube, right? So find one thing, attack it as hard as you can, get as good as you can. The more niche down, the better. The higher niched up you are, you're going to have more competition. So you need to stand out even more. But that's how you get more engagement on any social media. That's how you get more engagement on any social media. All right. Here we go. What are the ideas? Great question. Let me check the Polymarket. Great finds. Good news that Polymarket API does expose user information, including trading positions. Let me dig deeper. Let me search for more specific information. Great news. The data is available. Polymarket is an official leaderboard showing top accounts on the platform. And there are third-party leaderboards that provide real-time stats on profit-loss positions with win rates and allow filtering across 1 million traders. Let's just look at the source on that. Is that true? Polymarketanalytics.com/traders. Oh, wow. I want this data. Siri's talking to me in the background, too. Siri, stop. Siri, stop. Stop. Jesus. Man, Apple's really messing up on the AI front, dude. Siri is crap. Anyway, key data source. Official Polymarket data API lets you fetch positions and holders information. You can query positions, trades, and activity. And this platform tracks top traders, detailed prominence and trading performance, updating every 5 minutes. Powered by Gold Sky's data infrastructure, indexes on-chain data, blockchain data. Since Polymarket operates on the Polygon network, you can analyze user transactions directly from the blockchain. All right. So let's do this. Let's build the top leaderboard off. Let's just start off with building the top leaderboard. So for those just joining, I'm using Claude Haiku 4.5, their brand new model, to come up with ideas for apps we can build. I chose something I'm interested in, which is Polymarket in the event contract space. I want to build an app around that tracks the top performers, the top bettors, the trending trades. And I'm brainstorming with Claude Haiku 4.5. I'm also brainstorming with Claude Sonnet 4.5 and Chat GPT 5 thinking, just to see how they do, see if they come up with anything better. So let's do this. Let's get into the building phase. Okay, I'm going to use Claude Code for this. Please build a PRD for this app. So we're going to get a PRD from Claude that we are going to take, and we are going to, what is it? I'll build a comprehensive PRD for your opponent. Check available docx skill for best preg. Now create comment. Okay, so it's building PRD. We're going to take this PRD it is building. We're going to go into Claude Code, and we are going to build this out. So I'm opening up in the background here a new Visual Studio Code window. Okay. I'm going to open up Claude Code and that. So once it builds this out, perfect. I'll create the Claude Haiku seems pretty fast. And from a results perspective, it seems pretty good. Let's just compare it to Chat GPT 5. Let's just see how the recommendations were in here. Love this. Let's build a polymarket radar flow, odds movement scanner that surfaces tradable anomalies, whale behavior, and market mispricing. Explore concrete scanner examples, plus an MVP build plan that you can hand to Claude Code. All right, see, this is what I kind of like about GPT-5. It's very proactive with things like that. I'm going to build you the MVP plan as well. New wallets placing big first trades often have info alpha. Flag wallets with that's a good idea. That's a good idea, right? It took it a step further than Claude, right? Like Claude gave me a bunch of high level good ideas. ChatGPT clearly thought a little bit deeper about it. It's like, we're not just going to, what did I just do there? Oh, we're not just going to give you ideas. We're going to think deeply about it and give you like the exact metrics you want to track for it. I like that. Repeat whale pressure. Same wallet leaning into one side across hours, days. Aggregate fills by wallet market. Alert of same direction size over rolling window. Sweep scare. Many small prints from one wallet to avoid detection. Still move price. Many small print. So count trades by wallet. And okay. Whale flip. Why? A known whale reversing can mark regime shifts. Wow. Regime shifts. Track per wallet. Smart money copy. Why? Story of profit trades. Odds microstructure. All right, I'm just curious. Sudden implied prob change over precede news. Odds and micros. Fast move spike. I want that. I definitely want this. Spread compression, liquidity vacuum, easy to shove price through thin books if cumulative price. Pin risk near. Okay, so there's a lot going here. Across. All right, they gave me a ton of ideas. Holy hell. Data you'll need: markets list, order book, trades, core pipeline, just polar streams, refills, keep rolling windows. Ranking, UI now, markets, wallets, leaderboard with win rate, alerts, tab users. This is really good. How does split work to Claude Code? Wow. This is really good. This was kind of better than, I mean, Haiku 4.5 and GPT-5 thinking are two very different models. All right, let's see what the PRD they came up with here. How's everyone doing in the chat, by the way? Do you think Haiku is usable with Claude Code? It is usable, Claude Code. Last stream you mentioned using Codex on the phone, and now I'm hooked. I love that, Rachel Dev. That makes me happy to hear. What criteria do you use to determine whether a project architecture is scalable? What criteria do you use to determine whether a project's architecture is scalable? I don't know. You just got to think about it. It just comes from experience. That's too broad of a question. You got to give me more concrete examples. It's not me on the DP. It's Mike Thurston, a fitness influencer, but thanks to the advice. Oh, that's your profile picture is someone else? Is a shirtless pic of someone else, DX? All right. I don't know. I've never really heard of that. Have you considered using context? 7, MCP to make sure your model is using the most up-to-date docs for Polymarket. I don't know, man. I'm not like huge into MCP. I'm going to be honest with you. Every day I get 20 recommendations on which MCP servers to use. And to me, I'm all about simplicity is what it comes down to. I'm just going to set up a thing here on the side. I'm setting up Claude Code so we can start building something cool. I'm all about simplicity. And like, if I set up every MCP server people wanted me to do, I just have 20 things going on at the same time. Right. So I don't know. I don't use any MCPs. If eventually, like, they come out with an MC, like, if eventually there's like a consensus, this is the best MCP, you can't live without this, then I'll download it and try it out. But man, if I downloaded every plugin and MCP and this and that everyone was like trying out, and then you got these people, oh, set up this subagent, that subagent, this subagent, that subagent, and they have like 20 subagents going at the same time. And it's like, I want to keep it simple. I'm all about simplicity. I think at some point, if you try to optimize as much as you can with 20 different MCP servers and 20 subagents and this and that, I think you're going to eventually, it's just going to be too complicated, to be honest with you. How do I download an image from WhatsApp? Oh, someone sent me a new thumbnail to put on this video, and I want to set it. Okay, let's get Claude Code set up here. Downloads. Here we go. All right, save. New thumbnail. Let's see if the click rate goes up. All right. Let's pop open live stream 1015. Stop share screen. Here we go. Let's start building. Claude Code, baby. When you're designing a system, what are the key signals that tell you your architecture can scale effectively as user demand grows? That's something you just, you used more words in your question, but it's still not like a very specific question. You got to get more specific. I'd ask AI with, like, if you're building out an app, the AI has a lot more context than I do, and just say, hey, look at my app. Is this scalable? Where is it not scalable? Why use Haiku over Sonnet 4 or 5 for coding? So the official recommendation from one of the project managers at Claude was like, you could use Sonnet 4 or 5 for the planning mode and then Haiku for the coding, which makes sense because if you build a really good plan out with Sonnet, then Haiku can just work and doesn't have to think quite as much. So, all right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to take my PRD. Kind of a complicated PRD. I'm going to say, okay, can you give me an initial prompt for building this out with Claude Code? I'd like to use Next.js and Supabase. Okay, I'm going to get the initial prompt over here from Haiku. Let's see here. All right, Haiku is giving me data models and this and that. It's giving me an intense. Let's go over here. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. Let's get a good initial prompt. Let's get a good initial prompt here. All right. So let's see this. What would be a good place to start for the MVP? Just phase 1, then we can layer more data and info on top. Let's see what GPT-5 thinking has to say here. What's your AI workflow like? I've got a bunch of ideas, but struggling to term apps. Well, I got good news for you, Rafael Rantes. I got good news for you. You're watching my AI workflow live in action. So I start planning. I'm going to be honest with you, I typically start planning with GPT-5 Thinking Extended Mode, which is what you're seeing right here. Today, I started planning with Haiku 4.5 just to see what's up, see what it's like. Polymarket Radar Lite, Surface Days most actual markets using 3 dead simple high signal, rank them and show a clean dashboard, basic alerts, no complex P&L or backtest. Fast moving spikes, detect where implied probability moves fast. For new low history, wallets, dropping size, any trade 5,000. Order book and balance. I don't want order book and balance. It's too much. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. Too much and too complicated for an MVP. How about a leaderboard with top wallets, their positions, and P&L? Let's see. Ever try running a Docker of Supabase to save money? No. Will this live be safe to be accessed later on? Might have to hop off soon, says RM Beats. Yes, everything's recorded on demand, so you can go back and watch the rest. Everyone, make sure to leave a like if you're enjoying this so far and you're learning some new stuff, so you get more people in here and expand this party and have more fun. All right, let's take this. Build a database sync. Polymarket Claude initial prompt. Project where we build an analytics platform for tracking top traders in Poly Market. The Apple pull trade data from and display leaderboards. Okay, let's just take this. Let's take this initial prompt. This is building instructions. Start with the database, create API later, build database sync, create front end, deploy. I almost think this is too much too for a V1. This is too much too. All right, let's just go into Claude Code and say what we want to build. Sometimes these models, man, they just overthink. They do too much. They do a little too much. Here we go. We're in Visual Studio Code. We're in Claude Code, the Claude Code plugin inside of Visual Studio Code. Let's give a description what we want to use. I want to build an analytics platform, and we're going to go into plan mode. So I did Shift Tab twice. I want to build an analytics platform around Poly Market. I want to present a whole bunch of data using the Poly Market API and any other data available. I'd like to start off, let's say the goal is to present interesting data that can help win trades or find inefficiencies in the market or trade opportunities. I want to start off simple and then layer data and charts on top. I'd like to start with a leaderboard of top whales with the best P&L. I'd like to use Next.js and Supabase. I'm going to enter on that. Let's see what the plan mode has to say here. So we're using Claude Code plan mode. It's going to build it out. I took the ideas I got from Claude Haiku in the other window. Instead of using their initial prompt, which I just thought was too much, too complicated, doing just way too much for an MVP, I'm going to have plan mode figure it out for me. So let's give it a yes here. Again, been getting a couple questions lately around, why are you using Visual Studio Code? Why are you using the plugin for Claude Code instead of the CLI? Couple things here. I could not get the plugin working in Cursor. Just couldn't get it working. Every time I uninstall, reinstall the plugin for Claude Code and I click the button, it just opened up the CLI and not the plugin. So that was pissing me off. So I switched to Visual Studio Code because it's free. And then on top of that, I'm using the plugin because I think the UI is nicer. I like the UI. It's just a nicer UI. It does all the same things as the CLI. I just think I like this. I like the colors. I like the way it feels. You can also change your conversations very easily, which you can't do in the CLI. I just click this drop down and change conversations. So I like that as well. So we're having plan mode build out the plan for this. Is Claude Code free? Says Derek Yunge. No, it isn't. It is not free. It costs money. There's a cheap plan for $20. If you use Haiku with that, I'm sure you can get a little bit of usage out that. Build a couple apps, play around, see if it's for you. There's more expensive plans for $100 and $200. I used the $100 plan for a while. I got plenty done. I didn't hit too many limits. I'm efficient with my prompting, so I save tokens. I'm now on the $200 plan. But, I'd start off with the $20 plan. See if it's for you. It's just $20. The way I look at it is this. And I know that's kind of an ignorant thing to say, it's just $20. Everyone's in different financial situations. But I'll say this as this is building out. Accept this plan. Let's look at the plan real quick. Poly Market Analytics Platform. Phase 1, initialize the project, set up Supabase, configure environment variables, install dependencies. Backend infrastructure, traders, positions, market, trade history, build API integration using the APIs. Graph. Okay, interesting. Create data sync service. And then the leaderboard feature. I like it. Yes, and auto accept. I love Claude Code, man. I love Claude. I got to be honest with you, man. I love Claude Code. I got to be honest. They're not paying me. But hey, Anthropic, if you're watching this, you have a position open You have a position open for head of developer relations. Nobody relates to developers more than me. Nobody relates to developers more than me. I've gotten more people using Claude Code than the amount of people in small countries in this world. I got a lot of people using Claude Code. Holler at your boy. I'm doing all this promotion for free. To be honest, I'll keep doing it for free, even if you don't pay me. But hey, this guy relates to developers really well. Let's just say that. Anyway, Anthropic, pay your boy. I love Claude Code. I use Claude Code so much. I love it. Anyway, listen, here's what's going to happen. It's going to work here for like 15 minutes. It's going to build out this entire plan. And at the end, it's going to have a working app, which is incredible. Anyway. Brilliant. Yep. So let's allow this command. CD Polymarket Analytics. Okay. Installing. So it's installing all of the components, the tech, everything. How's the lo-fi music in the background? Good. Not too bothersome. Allow this bash command. Yes. We're going to have a cool app once this is done, I think. We're going to have a cool, usable app. These are my favorite ideas. Oh, I got two things to rant about real quick. One, I get a lot of complaints sometimes about the pricing. Oh, too expensive. All these are too expensive. All these are too expensive. Here's the issue. People, your framework of your mindset needs to shift a little bit. You compare the pricing of these things to like the pricing of a carton of eggs or Canva premium for like $10, $15. You go, oh, $100, that's expensive. And again, this might be ignorant because everyone's got different financial situations. But if you're serious about tech and AI, you need to shift your framework, your mindset to like the cost of a developer is like $200,000 a year, which is what? $18,000, $17,000 a month or whatever. Pulling that math out of my wazoo. That's what you need to compare the pricing of these tools to, right? You could hire a developer for $17,000 a month, or you can get Claude Code for $100 a month. That's a pretty good deal. Is that 99% savings? Again, pulling math out of my wazoo here. But it's like 95% savings. You could hire a developer for $17K a month, or you just get Claude Code and it does everything for you, and it's better than most developers. It's basically a senior developer. That's how you got to shift your mindset around this, I think. Amazing. So do you think with the technology, we can create really anything with high-end quality? It says everything gone biak. I don't know if I just said something insane there, but do you think with the technology you can create really anything high quality? I don't know if this is your first video that you're watching of me. Everything on a biak. But that's pretty much the message I've been spreading with all my content for years now, is that now that AI exists and Claude Code exists and Codex GPT-5 exists, you can build anything you want at a very high quality for a reasonable price. All the barriers are gone. All the barriers have been torn down. You can do anything you want. Let me go full screen so you look me in the eye for this. You can do anything you want. Anything. Anything you can dream of, you can now do it because of AI, because of Claude Code, because of Claude.ai, the chatbot. You can come up with any ideas you want. And because of Claude Code, you can build any ideas you want. Because of ChatGPT, because of Gemini, no one's paying me yet, so I'm not going to just pump one. You can build anything you want, right? So just do it. You can build anything for a reasonable price. What you need to be doing is you need to be AI maxing, where you carve off some time and you make sure every single day you just spend a little time chatting with an AI bot about anything. Hey, I like these things. I'm interested in digging. Any ideas around here? What can I build here? Anything interesting here? And you just have these small back and forths. And eventually ideas will start percolating. and then you can build them out. You just got to be in thinking mode and going mode and doing mode at all times. You need to have your mind framework at all times being like, where are the ideas at? What can I build here? What's interesting here? What will be helpful here? What will solve challenges here? What will solve problems here? And you need to be in hunting mode rather than reactive mode. If you're in reactive mode, the ideas will never come. But if you're in hunting mode and you're hunting for ideas and you're hunting for solutions and you're hunting for challenges and you're hunting for products, you're going to be a monster with AI. And the $20 a month you spend on the AI is going to be you're going to get the ROI, incredible ROI out of it. Incredible ROI out of it. Let me give you an example. I'll give you a real life example right now, just so you don't think I'm doing hand wavy BS right now. I'll give you a real life example right now. I've had a newsletter for years now. I haven't written for it too much in a while. I'm going back and forth with an AI like a week ago, even less than a week ago. I'm going back and forth with an AI. It's like, hey, what if you talk about this on YouTube? What if you shifted your newsletter to this? And what if you shifted your newsletter to this and every week you shipped an open source app and sent it to your mailing list? I'm like, that's a pretty good idea. And so I rebrand my entire newsletter. I change it to ship it weekly. I make the whole thing, I'm going to send you an open source app every week. I'm now in 2 days since launch, the number 14 newsletter in tech on Substack. The number 14 newsletter in tech and Substack in 2 days. And I have over 100 paid subscribers in 2 days, paying $10 a month. So it's at 1,000 MRR. Boom, just like that. 5 years of AI has paid off the one idea it gave me. Just like that, 5 years. 5 years of $20 a month chatbot paid off with an idea it gave me because I was just friggin' mingling. By the way, it's still building in the back. We're gonna keep building here. I'm just ranting at the moment as this builds. I'm giving you some lessons. I'm giving you some knowledge as we do this too. Like, I'm not just showing you how to build. I'm showing you how to live life with AI, right? So what I'm saying is, you just got to be in that hunting mode. If you're in that hunting mode, the $20, the $100, the $200 a month you're paying, it turns into nothing, man. It turns into nothing. What do we got here? Excellent. Let me verify the project structure and test the build to make sure everything works correctly. Run it, baby. Run. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Might not be a good idea with how hyper I am right now, but we'll see. Turco's Corner. You have a special way of teaching and communicating with your viewers. That's the reason you had a lot of us using Claude Code, me included. Hey, Anthropic, you watching this? Homeboy, home slice? You watching this? Read these comments. Hey, Alex, do you like VS Code better than Cursor now? Here's what the deal is, Scott Clendaniel. It's a good name. I like that name. Scott Clendaniel. It's a strong name. It's a strong name. Scott Clendaniel. It's a name I've never heard before in my life, and I like it. You know, some names you've heard before, right? Like I've heard Jack T. I know a lot of Jack T's. I don't know any Scott Clendaniels. I like that. Do you like VS Code better than Cursor now? I mean, here's what it comes down to, Scott. Cursor's great. Cursor's a great company, great app. They started the trend. They got everyone vibe coding. They were the first to the market. But there's just no features I use anymore Claude Code does everything better. So I don't need it in Cursor. I'm still subscribed. I still pay them just in case they put out something. Like their new plan mode is for sure great. Great new plan mode. But like, what am I going to do? Build plans in Cursor, then move them over to Claude Code? No, I just have Claude Code build the plan. What am I doing? But I mean, they're a great company, great people. I just have no reason. And then the reason I switched from Cursor to VS Code is that I could not get the Claude Code plugin working in Cursor, but it works in VS Code for me very easily. Let's keep building this. Let's see how we do here. It costs money and security. I never had my internet secure, says, okay. All right. How do I use Haiku in Claude Code? Jeez. How do I use Haiku? You do /model. You just type in /model, and then you can choose Haiku and Claude Code. And you got to be updated. Update Claude Code, and then do /model. and you'll be good to go. Everyone, leave a like if you're enjoying the stream. If you learned something new, if you got a little tidbit, if you're having fun, leave a like. Subscribe. You want more stuff like this? I wish I did this on like a regular schedule. I just kind of go live whenever I feel like it. So make sure to turn on notifications, because these are just kind of random. These random times I go live and build stuff when I have a little bit of free time. So make sure to turn on all 54 people, turn on notifications so you get alerted the next time I go live as well. That's the only way to know when I go live, because I don't do this at like a regular schedule. It's just random days and random times throughout the week. All right, perfect. Let's create a summary document showing what we built. I love it. I love when Claude Code does little things like this. Like, hey, I'm done working. Let me build you a quick doc that shows you what I did. I love it. Such a great employee. Claude Code is a great employee. All right, let's get YouTube. Let's see what we got here. Let's see this plan. Let's see this plan. Let's kick this guy out of here. Remove, put you in whole user in general. How do you remove? Let's just remove. We remove the guy. Don't come in here and provoke. Hide user on this channel. Put user in timeout. Report, remove, put user in timeout. 24 hours. See ya. All right. Just don't come in here and provoke. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in here and provoke. Do you have any advice for simultaneously working? Oh, let's just see what Claude Code did over here. Allow this command. Sure. Do you have any advice for simultaneously working on multiple features of your app using AI like Codex or Claude Code, or whichever you think is best for this sort of thing? Says Karen Jot Jolly. That's a good name too. It's a strong name too. I'll say this, Karen Jot Jolly. For building multiple features simultaneously, it is hard to beat Codex right now, because Codex has kind of the handoff between the multi-platform. So you can go on desktop, you can go on the mobile app, and you can spin up a bunch of background agents that do things in the cloud. Then you pull it down, you test, right? Claude doesn't have anything like that at the moment. So if you want to do what you're asking about, Karen Jot Jolly, it's fantastic. We got some strong names in the live stream today. Codex is the way to go. And the good news is you can use Codex side by side with Claude Code. You can use them side by side, spin up background agents in Codex, do hyper-focused work in Claude Code. That's kind of how I've been doing it lately. I come up with ideas on the go, at the gym, on the fly, wherever I am. And I'll go into the ChatGPT app and I'll spin up a couple background agents, come back to my computer, pull them down, check the work, then get into Claude Code and go hyper-focus mode, build out really cool features. But I will say this. There's some rumors flying. Some screenshots popping out. Some videos popping out. A lot of rumors flying. That coming very soon is Claude's version of the kind of background agent, on the go, on the fly architecture. Speaking of, I got to send some emails. If that's a real thing, which I think it might be, I want to test it. I want to play around with it. Anthropic, if you're watching this, what are you doing? Reach out to your boy. I'm getting all these people are getting on Claude Code. I was just randomly checking your channel, came in here from Twitter, and man, you're live, small world. Are you trying to evaluate your video on the App Store idea of ChatGPT? Also, trying to evaluate your video on the App Store idea. Yeah, I put out a new video yesterday for those who missed it. OpenAI is about to just release the ChatGPT App Store. So you can start building for it now. It's not launched yet, so you can't launch apps yet, but you can start building the apps now. They're going to have an App Store coming out. Looks like it's all done. We're going to review the app in a second. App Store coming out. You can start building for now. I think it's going to be huge. I think you got to be building apps for it. If you're first to this app store, it's like being first to the iPhone app store. It's huge. Start building apps for their app store. My latest video I put out yesterday covers it, shows you how to build an app for it. It's massive. Make sure to watch that after this. Smash that like button already. It only shows one like. Smash that. Smash the like. There's 64 people. Everyone hit the like button down below. Thank you, sir. I've learned more from your videos than anywhere else, says Scott Clendaniel. Anthropic, OpenAI, you watching this? If anyone from Anthropic or OpenAI is watching this, take note. Do you honestly think you can become a billionaire using AI to its max? Says Jack T. Jack T asked me. We're gonna review the Polymarket app we just built out after I respond to Jack T's question here. So I drink water. I drink coffee before this. I'm gonna drink water before this. Do you honestly think you can become a billionaire using AI to its max? Says Jack T. Jack T, let me give you an answer. It's the easiest yes in the history of mankind. It's the easiest. Yes, absolutely. You can become a billionaire using AI to its max. In fact, you're watching someone who's going to become a billionaire using AI to its max. I ship every day. I'm shipping apps every single day. I'm ideating every day. This is what you got to be doing. I have a new strategy, by the way. Download Claude or ChatGPT desktop applications, and I keep in the bottom right of my monitor at all times the desktop application open, and it stays open. It kind of hovers the entire time. Keep that open at all times, because if you keep the AI open and you stay in hunter mode, and you just keep hunting ideas and hunting apps and hunting challenges and hunting solutions, I guarantee you can become a billionaire using AI to its max. Guaranteed. So yes. So you need to be using it to its max. Hello, Alex. What do you think of AI Studio for Google? Says Glor Bobby. Another great name. Very strong names in here today. Glor Bobby, I've used it for sure. But right now, all Google has that's state-of-the-art is their video model. That's the only thing they have that's state-of-the-art. So that's the only thing I use it for. I use everything, whatever's state-of-the-art. I'm a mercenary at the moment. Whatever's the best I use. So I'm using Claude Code for building. I'm using GPT-5 for ideating and business ideas. And I'm using Google VO for video generation, because that's what it's a go at now. They haven't updated 2.5 in a while. Like, we're waiting for 3. They've come out with 20 different models on other platforms before they come out with Gemini 3. So I don't really know what's going on there. They're the biggest company in them all. All the betting markets say Google is going to be the best AI model by the end of the year. You go to any betting market, Gemini 3 is the top, highest percentage. So clearly something's coming. What are the last apps you shipped? So I'm about to ship either today or tomorrow, Mega QCEFT, a AI agent newsletter functionality for Creator Buddy, which is my Twitter AI app that tells you what you're doing well, what you're not. It's going to have an AI agent that watches your content on Twitter and then sends you an email once a week letting you know what you're doing well, what you're not doing well, and what you can improve. So I'm shipping that either today or tomorrow. It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. Can't wait to announce that. Although I guess I just kind of announced it just now. All right, let's see what we built here. Let's make this a little bit bigger for the homies. All right. Let's see what we got here in our Polymarket app. We did a lot of yap in the last half hour here. Now you can see what we built. I've successfully built a full stack analytics platform for Polymarket. Here's what we created. Whale leaderboard, track top traders by P&L volume, win rate, and trades, data sync, automatically fetch, advanced filtering, statistics dashboard, and a responsive design. The tech stacks, Next.js, Tailwind, Supabase, Polymarket API, a bunch of other API. That's nice. Recharts ready for future chart implementation. Great. Good project. Set up the Supabase. Okay, so I'm going to set up a database. I'm going to use Supabase, although every time I make a video where I use Supabase, someone goes in the reply section, like, what are you doing? Why aren't you using Convex? I got to try out Convex. People are talking about it a ton. But at the moment, I am using Supabase. So I'm just setting that up on the side here. Generate a password, copy. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Just saying the Supabase on the back end here. I don't want to show you all the API stuff. So I am not sharing my screen as I do this. Region Americas, create new project, confirm my costs, and pay more money. Everything in the world costs money. We're going to test this out here in a second. All right. So create an account, run the SQL schema, and copy your credentials. All right, so let's do this. I am going to stop sharing here real quick so that I can enter in my .env. So what do I need? A Supabase, Polymarket, API. Okay. So let me real quick put in my API keys. I try my best every stream not to share my API keys, although I invariably always end up sharing my API keys. So if you're here just to like troll me and steal my API keys and make me bankrupt, definitely want to stick around because probably at some point I will do that. Oh, what the heck just happened here? I'm on the settings, data API, URL. Definitely stick around if you're a troll. You don't want to leave. I will probably reveal my API key soon so you can take all my money. Anon key. Let's see here. Leave a like, leave a like, leave a like. General, where's my Anon key? Here we go. API keys. All right. Save that. Then we got to run a SQL schema. I think inside Supabase, let's see, copy your credentials, run the SQL schema from Supabase/schema. I'm going to do that real quick. Let's see. If you're building an app out and like you don't know how databases work or how to manage them or anything, just say you want to use Supabase. There's a good free version. And then if you ever get confused, like it says, oh, run this SQL query, and you're like, how do I run a SQL query? That doesn't make any sense. Then just ask the AI, hey, how the hell do I do that? Like with AI existing, you should never be confused for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, confusion is done. Confusion has been eliminated. In the year 2025, confusion is gone. It has been eliminated. It's gone extinct. You should never be confused ever again. If you're ever confused, you're a dingleberry and you're doing everything wrong. You got to be going into the AI. You ask the questions and it answers it for you. No more confusion. Clicking run on my SQL query. Okay, here's an indicator. The AI models have improved a ton, by the way. Like 6 months ago when you'd build out your database, every time it would tell me, hey, run the SQL query to change this table or create this data structure or whatever, I'd always get an error. First try, always an error. First try, always an error. It didn't even bother me anymore because it was just so regular. I never get errors. Every time they give me a SQL query, it just works now. So AI models definitely getting smarter. All right. It looks like I need to get API keys for Polymarket. Let's just see here. I'll share my screen again. I don't think I have any API keys showing. Do I need to enter API keys for Polymarket? It looks like there's 3 spots for it in the .env. I misspelled .env, but they'll figure it out. I built a Polymarket scanner like a couple weeks ago, just a simple one just to test it out. I didn't need to put in any API key. So that's why I'm just going to make sure. Good question. No, you don't need API keys for Polymarket. All right, good. These are just public API, your non-authentication. Look at your .env local. Here's what you actually use. Required. All right, and these are optional. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. So let's try this out. Let's just see the setup Supabase, configure the database, did that. Get your API credentials, did that. Configure the environment variables, did that. Start the development server. All right, let's start this development server. Let's see if this app works. Why did it create an app folder? I think the app folder was a mistake. So we're going to cd into Polymarket. I think the app folder was a mistake there. And then we're going to do npm run dev. All right, it's running. You guys want to see the final result? Not the final result, because we're going to keep building on top of this. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got so far in our Polymarket app here. Sharing screen. Boom. All right. Let me go into full screen mode so you can see what we're working with here. Let's see what we got. Polymarket analytics, track top traders, whales, and market opportunities, all-time total P&L. Set up your suit-based product, did that. Run the SQL, did that. Click the sync data button. All right, let's sync. Let's see what happens here. No traders found. All right. So one of two things are happening. Either the constraints of the data it's looking for are too tight, or the API is not working. So we need to figure out why there's no data coming into our Polymarket dashboard. So let's share the screen. Let's go back to Claude Code. And this is good, right? Now I'm going to show you how to figure out problems, figure out challenges. All right, let's go back here so you can see more stuff. Okay, looks like it's running, but I hit sync data and it loads for a split second, then nothing happens and it says no traders found. The time frame is all time and is sorted by total P&L. So either the API is not working or the criteria for what it's looking for is too tight. I got 200 messages for each API call. All right. So we just tell Claude Code what's going on. We just say, hey, this is what's happening. What do you think? What's the biggest challenge you faced till now with AI coding? What's the biggest challenge I faced until now with AI coding? Not enough time. There's no barriers. There's no more barriers when it comes to AI coding. You shouldn't have any challenges. I take that back. You shouldn't have any unsolvable challenges. There should be, and if a challenge is solvable, I don't consider it a challenge anymore. When it comes to AI and AI coding, there are no more unsolvable challenges. Because any challenge you have, like for instance, what I'm just showing you right here in our app, we loaded the app. And there's no data. That's a challenge, but it's solvable because I'm going to Claude Code. I'm just saying, hey, what's going on? It's not working. And it solves it for me. So there's no more unsolvable challenges now, thanks to AI, other than how do I get more time in the day so I can just build all day. That's the only reason I want to get rich, by the way. Only reason I want to get rich is so that I can just build all day. I just want to build all day. This is the most fun thing in the world. What I'm showing you here, this is the best kind of live stream and content to make because I absolutely love doing it and I have a blast. So I just want to be able to do this all day and not do all the little tiny business stuff. That's my dream. When I get FU rich, I'm out on some island. I'll be sitting inside on my computers building all day. All right, here we go. Good catch. The issue is that the sync function is using placeholder addresses. Let me check the sync. The issue is online is using placeholder address. The get endpoint is designed to discover real. Let me update the post. Perfect. Now let's check the Polymarket. Open your browser console. Navigate to this URL. I'm just going to test this on the side here instead of having to switch back and forth all day. Let me just do this. I'm doing the test to see if this works. Success, false, error, no markets return, Polymarket API test, market success. Ran the test and got this. Let's see what it says to that. This is the mindset you have to have. This is the mindset holding back 90% of people right now. This is the mindset holding back 90% of people as Claude Code's working here. I'll go back into maximize so you can look me in my eyes. The mindset holding back 90% of people is like they view challenges as a barrier. That's like a pre-2025 way of thinking. Seeing challenges as barriers are a pre-AI way of thinking. For 20 billion years, the time the Earth's existed, challenges were a barrier, right? For 20 billion years, challenges were a barrier. Then it hit 2023 and ChatGPT and Claude came out and we entered phase 2 of humanity. There was phase 1, which was challenges stink. Now we're in phase 2, 20 billion years later. By the way, completely making up the numbers around years the Earth's been around. Completely made up. Pulled out of my wazoo. No idea what I'm talking about when it comes to those numbers. But roll with me here. Pretend like they're correct numbers. Right? Now we hit 2023. ChatGPT, Claude all come out. Now we're in phase 2, which is a post-challenge world. Challenges don't exist anymore. People see, oh, this is challenging. I don't know how databases work. I don't know how to code. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to run things. I don't know how this, what is this? What is Supabase? What is Next.js? What is Vercel? What is this? And then they allow that to be a barrier to stop them from doing whatever the hell they're doing. We're past that. Challenges don't exist. Remove challenges from your vocabulary. Because anything you don't know how to do, you just ask the AI and it does it for you. So we're in a post-challenge world. Don't let that mindset stop you. Why are you living in an average one bed then if you're that confident, says Jack T. What the hell are you talking about, Jack T? Why am I living in an average one bed? If you're, first of all, you don't know how many bedrooms my apartment is, Jack T. What, you look at my background and see a fridge, you're like, oh, that's a one bed? Jack T? Average? This looks average to you? Well, for the record, Jack T, it is average. This is a pretty average standard one bedroom apartment. But number 2, Jack T, just because I'm confident AI will make me a billionaire one day doesn't mean I'm just going to move into like a $15,000 a month apartment when I'm still not a billionaire. That would be a foolish move. That would be absolutely foolish move for me to move into an outrageously priced, non-average, more than one bedroom apartment before I'm a billionaire. What sense would that make? Oh, I know I'm going to be successful one day, so let me just blow all my money right now. That's a stupid mindset to have, Jack T. This average one bedroom apartment, which for the record I love this apartment, provides me everything I need. Everything I need and more is in this apartment. So right now, all I care about is building really cool stuff with Claude Code, building really cool stuff with AI, creating the best YouTube videos I can, writing the best tweets I can. That's all I care about now. And this apartment allows me to do that, Jack T. So why am I living in an average one bed if I'm that confident? Because one day, Jack T, this will be a way above average one bedroom, more than one bedroom villa. But you don't get ahead of yourself. Right now I'm in build mode. Eventually I'll be in enjoy mode. Right now I'm in build mode. So for now, this average one bedroom Jack T does the job. Jack T. Jack T. Average one bedroom. Your face is average one bedroom, Jack T. Now run the test again and tell me. Let me see what the test does now. All right, let's see here. I'm thinking of making an AI law research app in my small country. Should I do this and put my next 5 to 7 years, or try something in Agentic and maybe in the ChatGPT app, says Rana. Rana, question for you. First of all, why do you think it would take 5 to 7 years to build a law research app? Change that to, should I put my next 5 to 7 hours? 5 to 7 years to build an AI law research app, dude? Honestly, if you're good enough, next 5 to 7 minutes. Should I put my next 5 to 7 years? No, Rana. Here's the cheat code. Put your next 5 to 7 minutes into building the AI law research app. See how it goes. If you enjoy it, if you like it, keep going. If you don't, move on to the next thing. 5 to 7 years. That's a pre-2023 mindset, Rana. Pre-2023 mindset's, oh, I have this idea. Should I spend the next 7 years building it? No, The post 2023 mindset's, oh, I have this idea. I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes starting now building it. You demo a lot of web-based apps you can build. Can you build Android apps? And if you had to choose an app to build on web or Android, well, I'm not going to build any Android apps because I have an iPhone. But a lot of what you're seeing me doing, you can like translates to building Android apps, right? Like if you watch what I do and then you're like, oh man, this is great, but how the hell do I build an Android app? Again, wrong mindset, right? What you learn from what I'm building, even though I'm not building Android apps, is okay, I ideate with ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. Then I open up Claude Code and I build with Claude Code. By knowing that, you've learned everything you need to learn to build whatever you want, including Android apps, right? So now you take what you learned from what I've done, even though it's web apps. The market's being returned all closed. True. Our filters are moving them because we're filtering. Now test again. I've given you all the building blocks you need, Bruce. So now you go into ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. You say, here's my idea. Here's what I want to build. It's an Android app. I'm going to use Claude Code. How the hell do I do it? And it tells you exactly how to do it. It tells you exactly how to do it. Bruce, got it? So you don't need me to show you how to build an Android app. You don't need me to show you. You got the tools you need, bro. Bruce. Great hair, by the way. Great smile. Now you just get to it. Hey, good evening, all from Switzerland. What's up, Turrican? Shout out Switzerland. Never been, but I want to go. Love your chocolate. When I finish V1 of my secrets manager, it will help you out. All right, cool. We're just waiting for Claude Code to excellent progress. The markets are working now. However, we have two issues. Holders returning 0, P&L returning no data. Let me update the strategy, use different approach. See, this is great. I love Claude. It's thinking through the issue one step at a time. It's like, all right, we'll try a simpler approach. Let's create some sample demo data, and then we can refine the real data fetching later. Not in love with that approach. It's kind of a stopgap approach, but whatever. Quick way to see it working is visit the URL in this browser. Kind of a stopgap approach, but that's fine, Claude Code. Oh. Visit the URL. This will insert 10 sample traders. Claude Code's working through it. Respect, bro. Thanks for your videos. Claude is amazing. Hey, respect to you, Vebi Fejzuli. Vebi Fejzuli. Here's the thing. I'll never skip saying people's names. I'm going to give it my best shot no matter what your name is. I've never said the name Vebi Fejzuli in my life, but I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm fine embarrassing myself. I have no issue with that. I don't care what size apartment you live in. What's the point? But if you have a dog, we should meet him. I don't have a dog. I am one of the biggest dog fans on planet Earth. I will eventually have a dog. Now try visiting demo again. It should insert the demo data. Boom. I think that worked. New row violates row level security. Did that work? Failed to insert. Oh, row level security issue here. Claude Code's given its best try. I take the errors, I give it back to Claude Code, and Claude Code fixes it. I will say this, just a shout out to Claude and Anthropic here. There was a time, man. There was a time in like March of this year where like this situation you're in here where we're in kind of like, oh, this isn't working. How do we do this? Claude wouldn't be able to figure it out. We'd go in circles for friggin' hours. But we're past that stage. We made it past that stage. Claude figures it out now. No more going in circles. Claude just knows how to figure it out. Claude's figuring it out. Boom. Let's look at this. See, they figured it out. They figured it out. They figured it out. They figured it out. You just keep going. You run into issues. You're running into issues. You copy, paste the issues into the AI, and then it figures it out, man. This is demo data, but it figured out the demo data. We're going to fix this now so it gets real data. Let me know once you run that SQL. Okay, tried the demo endpoint and it worked. And there's data in the database and UI. But now I want real data. All right, we'll switch this back over to Claude Code so I can show you what I'm doing. So we got the demo data working, we got the UI working, we got the database working. Now all we need to get working is the API pulling the data from Polymarket in real time. So we can get some nice real data in there. Confidence has just zero to do with how you spend your money. Yeah, what is that about? The guy was like, oh, if you're so confident, why are you in a basic 1-bedroom? Confident people only live in overpriced apartments? Kind of common as that. Also, I'm building my SaaS and was wondering, what is your advice on the best way to achieve 4,000 to 5,000 MRR from 0 users? This is Karen Jot Jolly. I like that goal, Karen Jot. Karen Jot Jolly asks, is Claude Code's working here in the background? He asks, what is your advice on the best way to achieve 4K to 5K MRR from 0 users? So I'm currently at around 18,000 MRR, I think, 18 to 20,000 MRR. This is the best way. Here's the best way. The best way is to build in public. Karen Jot Jolly. The best way is to build in public. So I think X at the moment has the best indie hacking community of builders, AI code, stuff like that. So I'd make sure you have an X account. I'd immediately, once you make your X account, mute everything political related, mute all politics. That'll only destroy your brain. And start tweeting out things as you build. You learn new things, you tweet it out. You build a new feature, you tweet it out. You build something cool, you tweet it out. You hunt other people in your niche, right? That's whose problems you're solving with your app. You follow them, you reply to their posts, you DM them, you get them in your network, and you talk about your app. And as long as your app is solving people's challenges, the people on those social networks will follow you and buy your app, and you'll make 4,000 to 5,000 MRR from 0 users. YouTube, I think YouTube is the holy grail of social media. YouTube is the absolute holy grail. If you're into it, if you're interested in it, if you like it, make videos, go on YouTube, make videos, talk about the challenges you're solving, say interesting things, be interesting, be funny, and you'll gain an audience on YouTube. I think the YouTube audience is the most valuable audience in the world. So if you can build an audience there, you're king of the internet. But if not everyone's into building videos is a very high barrier form of content. Creating YouTube videos is an incredibly high barrier form of content. So it's not for everyone. So if you're not into that, you don't want to do that, that's fine. Go for X. X is the lowest barrier form of content because it takes 10 seconds to write a tweet, right? So you go on X, you write a tweet, you put it out. But if you want to go for gold, YouTube's the way to do it as well. But that's how I'd go from 0 to 4.5, 5K. I told you about that 5 to 7 years to build the app. I meant that building and scale to be like super rich level. Oh, so okay. So 5 to 7 years to be super rich. Listen, Rana, listen, if you have a clear path to getting super rich in 5 to 7 years, you take that path. Rana, if you have a clear path to getting super rich in 5 to 7 years, you take that path. Now try this. What you do, Rana, is if you have a clear path being super rich in 5 to 7 years, you drop everything you're doing and you go down that path. Right? You live bare minimum. You don't get a basic 1-bedroom like I'm in. You get a basic studio. You do whatever it is as cheap as humanly possible, and you attack that path with as much vigor as you possibly can. You get rid of all TikTok. You get rid, unless you're building your business on there. You get rid of all. You eliminate distractions, and you attack that path as hard as you possibly can. But the issue is, Rana, is it is very hard to have a very distinct 5 to 7 year plan for getting super rich. That is I don't have a 5 to 7. I have a 5 to 7 year plan. Am I 100% confident it's going to get me super rich in 5 to 7 years? No, I'd like it to. I'm not 100% certain, but I know it's the best possible plan for me at the moment, and I'm willing to pivot if need be. All right, here we go. I'm testing this out at the moment. I'm trying to get the real data from Polymarket to work. That's what we're building over here in Claude Code. For those just joining, I'm Alex Finn. I do stuff on the internet. I build stuff on the internet. I have an AI app that makes $300,000 a year. Right now, we're live streaming me building a startup live in front of your eyes. We're using Claude Code. I'm building a Polymarket scanner that scans Polymarket for interesting trades and information and data. If you like that, if you like the concept of that, stick around. Maybe leave a like. It's free to do. Maybe subscribe, turn on notifications, because I do this live stream 1 or 2 times a week. Do all those things. I'll appreciate it. William N says, bro lost his shizzle over a comment. Laughy emoji. Says William N. with a profile picture of an absolute shredded human being. Which comment made me lose my shizzle? Which comment are we talking about? The basic 1-bedroom comment, or which comment made me lose my shish kebab? Which one, William N, with the absolute shredded picture? Now try again. This should skip the API. All right, let's try this out. Did we work here? Did we get? Let's see if we got the data. Let's see if we got the data. Stephen Ed says, what up, big dog? Stephen Eds, my main man. My main man. Steve, listen, Stephen Eds does not make YouTube content. He does not put out YouTube videos, but I'd like to see him do it. So throw Stephen Eds to subscribe, just so he starts to feel the pressure, like, oh, I have subscribers. I should be making YouTube content. He just had a kid. I don't know if he wants me doxing his personal information like that, the fact that he just had a kid. So say congrats to Stephen Eds in the chat. Still getting errors, Claude Code, fix it. So Stephen Eds, what we're building here, and we got Ray Fernando in the house too. My two big dogs, Ray Fernando and Stephen Eds. Ray Fernando, my AI coding big dog. Stephen Eds, my I see him in the gym every once in a while and drop him off muffins, healthy muffins, big dog. We are building a Polymarket scanner right now. We are building a Polymarket scanner that scans Polymarket for interesting trades, from whales to see what whales are doing. Cool. There's a ton of Polymarket APIs out there, and I think Polymarket's about to blow up once they launch in the US. So we're building out some cool Polymarket stuff. Try again. Now we'll see what volume field actually looks like based on what we saw earlier in the run. The volume might be stored differently in all markets. Let me know what sample market log shows. All right. Let's see what we got here. It's going to look cool, though. If you guys want to see a little preview of what we're building, if you want to see a little preview of what we're building here, we're building this Polymarket analytics screen shows you the top traders, their total P&L, what their win rate is, their volume, their trades, where they're trending. We're going to get a whole bunch of cool information from Polymarket. Let him cook. How's the model, says Ray Fernando. It's cool. It's fast. It gets the job done. I compared it with ChatGPT 5 thinking, which obviously they're very two different models and they're kind of apples and oranges. I still like GPT-5 thinking a little bit more, but like, here's the thing. Anthropic needed to release a lightweight model, right? They're going very heavy into agents. They have the Claude agent SDK. They're trying to build a lot more agent functionality. They needed a lightweight model. Claude Sonnet's too expensive for agents that are just going to be running all day. So they needed a lightweight one. Haiku is still pretty pricey compared to other lightweight models, but it's still very good. It's still very strong. And I think what it's great for is people who use Claude Code who want to save a little bit of money, who are maybe getting up against their limits. It's going to be great for that. So it's a good model. It's a good model, sir. Looking forward to your next video, Stephen Eds. Look, Stephen Eds, man. People are waiting for your video. Ruben R. wants Stephen Ed's video. Sorry, I had to get out of the computer for a while and don't know if you answered me or not. So here it goes again. How did you resolve the errors that Claude Code does? Also, it's stubbornness. Well, Turco's Corner. You've been watching me do it for the last 15 minutes here, which is Claude Code screws things up, and then I say, hey, Claude Code, you screwed it up, and then they figure out what the issue is. That's how you solve it. Perfect. Now I see the issue. All these markets are old. The API is returning old markets first. Let me use the Gamma API, which has current markets and actual volume. Perfect. Now try again. So right now it's messing up. I'm just taking the error messages from its mess up and feeding it back to it. And then it's figuring it out. What is the Gamma API it's talking about? Is that Gamma API Polymarket? Is that another Polymarket API? Why is it using a Gamma API? It must be. Okay. We're getting closer. Gamma API returned 20 markets, but 0 volume. Let me lower the threshold and check again. Try again. Okay. I'm refreshing the API call here. Oh, it looks like it worked. Wait, let's see. It looks like it might have worked. It looks like it might have got the markets. So it's getting live markets now into our app. If you made a plan on Claude Code, can you give it to Haiku to cook? Good news, Ray Fernando. Good news, Ray Fernando. If you do /model, I'm not going to do it because it's working right now, but they did announce, in one of the PMs announced in their tweet, that if you switch the model, you do /model and switch it to there's now a mode where it's plan, sonnet, execute, Haiku. There it is, Haiku. No. I think if you switch to... They did say there's a mode. I saw a tweet from one of the PMs that if you switch to Haiku mode, it'll do like sonnet for plan, Haiku for execution. I did see it. I know 100% confirmation. I did see a tweet with that in it, Ray Fernando. Let's see what we got here. Perfect. Now refresh your homepage and select sync data. You should see real market traded. Okay, this is good. We should now have real market data from Polymarket in our app. We're going to refresh here. We're going to sync the data. Okay, so we have real wallets. Okay, so are these, the traders are synthetic, estimated, wait, what is this? Perfect. Now refresh your homepage. Real market-based trader data populates the leaderboard. Realistic P&L volumes based on the actual Polymarket volumes. Proper ranking from high. The traders are synthetic, but based on real markets with 10 million, so the numbers are realistic. Okay, it's being a little lazy. Claude's being a little lazy. It keeps giving me demo data. Sometimes you gotta be stern with Claude. Sometimes you're like, all right, Claude, cut the shish. Let's get to it. All right. I want to make this as clear as possible. No more demo data, no more synthetic data. This isn't complex. Build out the real systems that get us real data now. Sometimes you just gotta get straight to the point with Claude ones. Like this is like its fifth try and it keeps giving us like different demo data. Sometimes you just be no, Claude. No more. No more synthetic data, no more demo data, no more half measures. It is time to lock in. It is time for you to get us some real data. No more synthetic data. Get us real data. You're absolutely right. I hate that. Can we, Anthropic, if you're watching, let's get rid of the absolutely right. Let's get rid of the you're absolutely right. Just get rid of it. Let me build the real data fetching systems now. No more synthetic data. Discover real well addresses. Let me investigate the real APIs. All right, I'm going to do this as it's cooking real quick. 58 people in here. I need to take a quick tinkle. I'll be back in 45 seconds. The bathroom is right there. No one leave. Everyone hit like, then go in the chat and introduce yourselves. Everyone introduce yourselves in the chat and talk about what you're building. I'll be right back. We're back. Who introduced themselves? Come on. I said introduce yourself. No one introduced themselves. What are you doing here? Don't be shy. You're all in FinFam. We're all a family here. This is FinFam. This is a FinFam live stream. If you're watching this, you're in FinFam. You can get comfortable. Don't be uncomfortable. Introduce yourselves. Dr. Ken introduced himself. Dr. Ken, building an app for long COVID patients. UK as a launching ground with global ambitions. Crazy. I love that, Dr. Ken. Yeah, remember this, Claude, because it should be your highest priority. Never, ever send me demo data unless I specifically... Yeah, I should put that in the Claude.md file, huh? All right, let's see what Claude did here. Perfect. Now refresh. Hit this thing. You should see real market-based trader data. Populate the leaderboard. Realist. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. Now test this. This queries actual P&L subgraph for real top traders. All right, let me test this on the side here. See if this API works. Get an errors. We give the errors back to Claude. So you get errors. You just copy, paste the errors, give it back to Claude. It's only one bath, but that's okay. It's a Sam B. People, we're being harsh on the basic one bedrooms in the chat today. See, that's the advantage of one bedroom. Yeah, that's 5 feet away. Yeah, who made fun of the one bedroom? It makes me more efficient. It takes me 10 steps to get to the bathroom. I'm glad I'm in a basic one bedroom. You guys got me so hooked on AI that I'm now $1,000 a month on subs and currently in the process of completing a major app that my patients will find life-saving. Meanwhile, zero coding. What are you? What goes into $1,000 a month of subs, Dr. Ken? What are you doing for $1,000 a month? I assume you got Claude Code Max. I assume you got Chat GPT Pro that has us at $450 a month. We have another $550 to spare. What are you spending $550 a month on? Is he going Grok heavy? Grok heavy's $350. That puts us at $200 more left in that $1,000 of what you could be spending money on. Maybe Google. You're doing the Google Pro. That's $250. It puts you at $1050 a month if you do the Google. You have the Pro version of every single tier. Is that what you're doing, Dr. Ken? Mike Holt, originally from Las Vegas, but I live in Panama now. Shout out to you, Mike Holt. I'll be in Vegas in July because I will be playing, hopefully, in the World Series of Poker. I'm training for the World Series of Poker right now. Little known fact, training for the World Series of Poker right now. All right, where are we at? Now try again. Let's try this again. Refresh. Let's see what we got here. Running the query. We give the error back. Addiction, maybe? Oh, you're addicted to AI. I'm addicted to AI too. Hi, I'm working on a meeting transcription app where I can drag or drop a video or audio into a Google Drive folder. And a few minutes later, it outputs a clear, actionable, and specific checklist. Says Ruben R. What is that checklist? What checklist are you generating based off a YouTube or based off a Google Drive video? I'm curious. I'm working from my finished air-conditioned shed in my backyard, cranking out an awesome Bootstrap 5 UI with Claude. 82% weekly limit resets in an hour. I love that, Paul. Grinding in his shed with his 82%. Probably spending more on his AI subscription than his shed. That's amazing. With speaker diarization before it creates the master note summary and checklist. That's sick, man. All right, let's see what we got here. Perfect. I can now see the schema, the subgraph as user position, which claims real. Now try discover whales. This queries the real user positions data from the subgraph. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to refresh this new API again. Pop that back in, give it back to Claude Code to check over. For those, I'm going to speak to the newbies now, the people who haven't really coded too much before in the past, newer to all this tech stuff. This is specifically to you. When building on any kind of full stack application, database, backend, APIs, front end, all that, you want to make sure you have your terminal open like I do here, right? This down here, if you're on Mac, Control tilde opens up your terminal. Because what the terminal is going to do is give you your logs as your application runs, right? Right now, what we're doing is I'm testing a data source, right? It's pulling an API from Polymarket, where we're building out this data source from Polymarket. And so I'm paying attention to the terminal here as data comes in. You can see the logs in the terminal, and I'm just copying and pasting the logs from the terminal into Claude Code so it can see the data we're getting back so it can fix any issues. You feel me? All right, I need to see what the field actually has. Try again. All right, let me refresh the API call here. Get the new message here. A little lesson for all you. A little lesson for all of you. Let's see what we got here. My job bought me GPT 200 plan for the month. I've been using Codex. It's been frustrating compared to when I was using Claude for $20. Code's been frustrating me. Is it just me? Says Forrest. Forrest, I'll give you my kind of raw thoughts and opinions on Codex versus Claude Code real quick. I'll go full screen for this so you can look me in the eye. Yen Rabman says, do it bounce? Yes, it does. Forrest, here's the difference between Codex and Claude Code. A lot of people swear by Codex and think it's the best. All the power, respect. Codex is a great product. Listen, I love Codex. I'm wearing the OpenAI Dev Day 2025 where I was listening about Codex for 20 hours straight. Codex fan. But the issue is they're very different personalities, Codex and Claude Code. I find that Claude Code is a lot more proactive. And what I mean by that is like, you give Codex and Claude Code the same command. Claude Code's going to do a little bit too much. Codex is going to do a little bit too little. And so what you'll find is like, Claude Code's going to surprise you and be like, oh, wow, you did all this plus more. That's kind of cool. Sometimes it might piss you off. Sometimes it won't. But Codex on the other end is going to do a little bit too little where what it'll build out will be great, but it won't go that kind of extra mile. And you'll find yourself a lot of the time being like, well, okay, well, do that. Like, do that extra thing you talked about. It'll be like, okay, I completed this part, but you still need to do all this. I'll be like, okay, well, do it. Like, I find myself prompting Codex a ton, like, okay, just do it. And that's frustrating. That's very frustrating, especially when you're used to Claude Code where it does everything plus more every single time, which some people don't like, some people do. I do like it when it does a little bit too much, because then I can kind of refine it. Like, hey, maybe we change this around, maybe not. So that's why I think Codex comes off as frustrating to some people that are used to Claude Code. It's I don't want to call it lazy. It just doesn't go the extra mile. It does what it does very well. It just doesn't go the extra mile. Claude Code goes the extra mile. And if you get used to that personality and used to that workflow, then Codex can sometimes come off as frustrating. All right, we're building out a Polymarket app. Let's see where we're at so far here. All right, it wants me to refresh. Let's see here. Now try it again. Let's see. Oh, it worked. Oh, baby. I think it worked. I think it returned me real data. Okay, let me just say this. I think it worked. I'll paste below the logs, then below that what I see on my screen. Logs. So I paste the logs in there, and I say on my screen. And I'm going to paste everything on my screen that the API returned for me in the app. The only reason I'm not showing it to you is because I don't feel like switching the screen back and forth 100 different times. But it gave me back all this nice trader data from Polymarket, which looks like it's legit and real. So I'm going to hit send. I'm going to see what Claude Code has to say. I have all the pro accounts too. It is hard to max it out. It is definitely an addiction. Everyone should have an AI team working for them. Here's what it comes down to. And this is like a negative of AI, I'd say. Which is like the people who can afford to buy all the AI subscriptions. Like if you can afford to pay for ChatGPT Pro and Claude Max, you just have an advantage. You have a distinct advantage over everyone else. Like you have the best tools. You have the most usage. You can do the most. That's an advantage. You can produce more. You can build more. You can get more out. In a person with all the AI subscriptions versus someone with one basic AI subscription is just going to get so much more done and be so much more productive. And so then really what it came down to was a race of who can spend more money. Is that really the world we want to live in, which is like whoever can spend the most money succeeds the most? Well, it's not the best place because then that widens the gap, right? It widens the wealth gap where the have-nots can't get as much done and the haves can get more done, and it kind of widens the gap between the two, where before it was just like, okay, who is better business wise, strategically, whatever. Now it's like, okay, who can afford more AI models? Is that the best? No, but like what's the alternative? We live in a capitalist society, which I think is a good thing. I think capitalism is a good thing, but there's downsides to it every once in a while, and there's one of the downsides, which is like the people that can pay for more AI models, they're going to be able to get more done, and just like is what it is. What are you going to do? Is it possible to build an app that would play video games? I would like to have the AI play Madden and crush my nephews. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ask an AI. Say, hey, I want to build an. I mean, it's going to be complex. It's going to be very, very, very complicated, but that's not a blocker for you, Will Wonks. That's not a blocker for you. Nothing. There's no barriers. It's going to be hard because you got to have an AI control your Xbox controller. You might need to build a robot hand that moves the controller, but you can do it. It's going to be tough, but do it. Best AI tool for iOS dev, Claude Code, Codex, or GLM? Claude Code. Codex seems to have more of a context window. It seems to see more of the project. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get back into Claude Code here. Yes, that's real data from the Polymarket subgraph. You now have 50 real whale addresses with actual position data. Now let's create the final sync endpoint that uses these real addresses, fetches their detailed P&L data, and syncs to your database. Okay, this will sync real trade data, actual P&L from your subgraph directly into your database. Okay, if I take this, it's actually going to put trader data in my database, which I'll show you in a second. Let's see, it gave me an error, so we're going to take the error. We're going to put it in here. It gave me a 500 error. We're going to put that in there and tell Claude Code, hey, fix this for us, baby. Codex for planning, Claude for implementation. I think that's a good workflow, Mike Holt. I think that's a good workflow. I'll say this. I use GPT-5 for most of my planning for like business, strategic stuff. I do tests all the time where I'll put the same kind of ideation planning prompt in all the AIs and see which one gives me the best recommendations. And I find that ChatGPT-5 thinking extended gives me the best answers most of the time. So I like that. Codex for planning Claude, but I'll say this, Claude Code's planning mode is still excellent. It's still excellent. Ollama Generate node is good in Comfy UI because you can load all your models from Ollama, and if you have one output, make multiple prompts to feed into separate LLM nodes that isolate each for function. That's an interesting use case. That's an interesting way to approach it. Like if you're into like optimizing, I was talking about this earlier. If you're into like optimizing every step and you want to do every step as high quality as humanly possible, that's probably the way to do it. Like I know people who they have like 20 MCP servers hooked up that's pulling in context, pulling in documents, pulling in this, pulling in that. Then they use Codex for planning. Then they use Claude Code for execution, and they use, Rabbit Code to do this, to clean it up, and then they send it in Codex to check the PR and all that. 100% you can do that, 100%. And you'll probably get better results than me. Just the way I operate, Alex Finn, the way I operate, I like simple. I like simple. And for me, simple, when I'm building a Polymarket scanning app, I go in the Claude Code and say, hey, baby, build it out for me. Hey, baby. I say, hey, baby, put that thing on and build it out for me. And then it goes and it does it. But everyone does different workflows. I'm not saying anyone's workflow is wrong, better, worse. I'm a simple guy. Perfect. Now let's try it again. The value is now properly calculated. All right, looks like that worked. Let's see. You guys want to see the data to see if it's pulling in real traders now into our database? Should we see this? Haiku, a prompt on that thing. I like you, Yen Rabman. I like you. You come in here and you ask me if it bounces. And now you're Haiku-ing prompting on that thing. I like that. I like you. Stick around, buddy. Stick around. I like you. Let's see if we got some data in the database. How's the low? Here's the question. Question for you guys. I've been experimenting a little bit. Lo-fi music in the background of videos or no lo-fi music in the background of videos? Does this lo-fi music make you vibe a little bit? Or does this lo-fi music take away from what we're doing here? Let me know what you think. We're in Supabase. We're in the traders table. And look at that. We got 130 trader information here. We got their crypto address. We got their P&L. We got their volume. We got their total trades. We got their win rate. We got their rank. Who's the number one ranked guy? The number one ranked guy has a 68% win rate. 342 trades. Who is this guy? We got to look at his trades. Oh, it's the demo data. We got to get rid of the demo data. How do I clean out the demo data from, let's go back to Claude Code. You like it, Rubinar? You couldn't hear because I was talking the entire time. That worked, but we still have demo data in the database. How do I clean it out? Should I just delete every row from the table, then run the sync again? You know, we have questions. The AI answers it for us. It's really simple. By the way, everyone should do this. Everyone should do this. Well, obviously, you should leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I live stream a few times a week at random times. So you need notifications on to know when I do it. But you should also do this. You should go down to the description, number 14 tech newsletter in the world. Spin.ai/subscribe. You should go down to the description and click the link for my newsletter, Ship It, which I just launched 2 days ago and is now the number 14 tech newsletter in the world in just 2 days. We've exploded. Hundreds of paid subscribers, thousands of free subscribers. We've absolutely exploded. Make sure to hit that description down below. If you join the premium newsletter, I send out an open source app every single week. I ship you an open source app every single week. All right, let's clean up the data here. You guys clear the demo data first. Run this in your Supabase SQL editor. All right, let's do this. I'm going to run this SQL query in Supabase so that we can clean up the data. SQL editor, boom. Run the query. All right. Traders, this should be empty, no? Yep, empty. Cool. And now we're going to run the sync to get only live data so there's no demo data. So I'm going to stop the screen share there so I can sync the data. Boom, we got it. Now let's see if we got real trader data. Let's see if we got real trader data from Polymarket. Is there any better feeling in the world than when you're like building an app and you're hooking up an API to get like really cool data from somewhere and you hit the button and you get that data for the first time? Is there any better feeling than that? What's a better feeling than that? When you're building an app and you're like, oh, Polymarket data. Let's get some Polymarket data. Click. And you hit the button and then boom, you got 100 traders in your database. What's a better feeling than that, man? What's a better feeling than that? Let's go back into Claude Code. Oh, let's go back into our app. All right, so we have the 100 traders in here. It says 50. I don't know why it said 50 when we had 100 in there. I guess it's only just, showing 150 of 100. But it doesn't have any P&Ls. Total P&L 0. There's no P&L in any of them. Why is that? Is there P&L? There's no P&Ls. Okay, it looks like it populated the data, but none of the traders have, do they have volume? What was the volume? None of the traders have volume or P&L in the UI. In the database, their P&L and volume is a very small fraction of a decimal. I'm going to send a screenshot of our database here so it knows what the data looks like. I'm going into Claude Code. It looks like the data is not showing very well in our app, right? It has 0 for all the volume, 0 for all the P&L. So I am just going in and I'm going into Claude Code and I'm saying, hey, the data looks a little weird, right? Anytime you have a question, anything that doesn't look right, anything looks weird, you just go to Claude, hey, this looks weird. What's going on here? The P&L and volume values are too small. They're showing us the issue is that poly market values might be in a different unit. Let me check and fix conversion. Now clear the data. Then run this again or click sync data. The value should now show properly. All right, let me clear the data. Running the sync. When I click, what's the button called? Sync data. When I click sync data on the analytics dashboard, I get this error. You get errors, you just give it to the AI. That's it. That's all you got to do. All the new AI advancements are happening too fast, Islam. Good. I want faster. It's too fast, but I want it faster. Should I record a video on Haiku after this? Is that something people are going to be interested in? Haiku? Like if I do like, should I do like a super deep dive into Haiku and like how to use it and stuff? I should do that. I'm going to do that after this. No B-roll. Those are just annoying fillers. As long as your voice is higher than the music, then it's fine, says Sam B. All right. Yeah, I feel like tech YouTube's different than all the other YouTubes. I feel like with all the other YouTube niches, like you need B-roll and fancy production and this and that. But with like tech YouTube and AI YouTube, which I love, you don't really need the B-roll, the fancy stuff. Like, I tell people I edit all my own videos. I have 0 employees, by the way. I don't hire anyone. Although I did pay someone $30 to make the thumbnails for this video and the last video. I did this. This is my first time spending money on my content. I did pay someone $30 for the thumbnails for this in my last video. I don't know. What do you guys think? You like the thumbnails? Do people care about thumbnails? Is that a thing in tech YouTube? Do people look at the thumbnails and go, "Ooh, that's a nice thumbnail," and click a video? I don't know. My thesis was no. That's why I never hired a thumbnail creator, and I just went into Canva and put my face on a thumbnail and put the title of the video. But I'm testing a thumbnail creator to see if thumbnails make stuff better. Are thumbnails, do people care about thumbnails? I hired a person for $30 to make me thumbnails. Was that a good investment? I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if this works. I'm just testing the data sync again on my side. I don't feel like switching my screen share 20 different times. Test. It worked. Oh, wow. Let me show you what we got. It looks like it worked. So we got traders in here. We got P&Ls. We got win rates. We got volumes. Total trades. I still feel like there's something wrong. NBA 2023 gave the first Twitch comment of the day. He was in YouTube, and then a minute later, he commented in Twitch. That's one way to get my attention, is go on the Twitch stream. I don't even announce I have a Twitch stream. I just cross-stream to Twitch just to see what the hell happens, see if people actually watch me on Twitch. Shout out NBA. Should I care about Twitch? Is Twitch a thing I should care about? I focus on YouTube. Should I care about Twitch? I don't know. Yeah, thumbnails influence me. I may not even see the second best thumbnail video. Ruben, I don't know what you're on your mobile or computer, but look at the thumbnail for this live stream and my last video. What do you like better? My thumbnails for my last video, or just me on my orange background, which was my lazy way of smacking my face on a background and putting it out. And I think it's a good use of your resources to outsource that to someone for $30 so you can focus on this. Yeah. I don't have an editor. I edit all my own videos. I use CapCut and I just like cut out the blank parts. And then like sometimes I'll put like a bunch of like GIFs and animations right at the beginning to give you a few dopamine hits. But other than that, I don't really do much editing. I feel like do I need much editing? I'm just showing people how to use AI. Do I need like tons of cool editing? And like there's other channels that have like crazy editing and their faces floating around the screen and there's animations and transitions and all this. I don't know, I just screen share and show people how to do stuff. I don't want to spend $1,000 a month on editors or more. Some people are spending like $5,000 a month on editors. I don't want to do that. I want to make money, not lose money. So I don't hire any editors. I don't hire any editors because I want to make money. I don't want to lose money. Is that weird? I don't know. Should I be hiring editors? People are like, oh, but you'll save time. I don't know. I just delete the blank parts and I put the video out. I like the new thumbnails better. The orange background's pretty good, but the variation helps. I think you lose click-through rate if you keep having too similar a look, says Ruben R. All right, I'll keep paying this guy for thumbnails. Shout out, hey, thumbnail guy, if you're watching, Ruben R just saved your job. I'm going to keep using your thumbnails. All right. Let's get back into Claude. We've been streaming for what, 2 hours now? Wow, we've been cooking here, huh? We've been cooking. Let's go back into Claude Code. Okay, it looks more realistic, but how are these traders selected? Are they top traders? Because the first person has a huge P&L, then like a few later, they have a 7K P&L. I don't know if I trust this data. It feels weird. For instance, the top guy has one trade, 2.5 million in volume, a 60% win rate, and a 250K P&L. That just doesn't add up. I'm going to screenshot the data, give it to. So the data in the Polymarket app we're building here seems weird. It just seems weird. So I'm just going to Claude Code and saying, hey, that seems a little weird. What's going on here? You don't need fancy editing. What you're doing right now is good, but thumbnails and headlines are important for how many people pop in. Okay, so Ruben, you don't mind the editing. You think the editing's fine. You like the new thumbnails. Titles fine. You like the titles? Yeah, I'd extend their job by another 4 videos if it were me and monitor. Okay. It's worth hiring an editor if you can return their value, says MBA. But here's the thing, MBA. I'm all about profitability. And I get like you're investing in it, right? I'm making, to be completely transparent with you guys, $2,200 a month on YouTube ad revenue. And like editors are asking me for like $4,000 a month for edits. I want to be profitable. I'm not going to spend $4,000 a month on editors when it's like, all I do is show people how to do stuff on a computer and I screen share. Am I like, if I was doing like a Mr. Beast style thing where I'm doing crazy things and I need to absolutely fry my viewers' dopamine receptors so that I can keep them watching, then yeah, maybe I'll do that investment. But I'm showing people how to use Claude Code. Do I really need to spend $4,000 so my transitions are a little nicer? You know, I don't know. Like a lot of the other big AI YouTubers, they're doing like crazy editing. Like there's transitions and there's things popping up here and there, and like their face is zooming in and out, and logos are popping up, and there's like GIFs. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, that probably gives my viewer a little bit more dopamine, but am I really going to run at a loss of $2,000 a month so that the transition's a little nicer? I don't know. Like if I'm making like if I'm making like $200,000 a month, I'll hire a guy to fry your dopamine receptors. But I don't know. Run this. This will show us the raw data actually, so we can understand what we're working with. All right, I'll run this. See what the raw data looks like over here. I'm going to run some raw data. See what the raw data looks like, huh? Here we go. I'm going to give him some raw data. See what Claude Code thinks about the data raw. Yeah, to extend there. One of my clients told me good thumbnail design finds a good, consistent thumbnail design. To be honest, I think you could easily outsource your orange background thumbnail design in a Quen 20. What do you mean? You think Quen's good enough? You think AI is good enough, Yen, that I could give my thumbnails to the AI and it will like actually pop out a quality thumbnail? Because I've tried all the AI thumbnail generators. They're all like fine, but they didn't really impress me. So what would your workflow be, Yen? How would you do that? What would you take the thumbnail, give it to Quen and say, hey, make this better? What would you do? What would be your prompt? Yeah, the titles have been good. If you like writing them, keep them going probably, and isolate the thumbnails as a variable to see how much of a difference. Yeah, I'm isolating the variable. I like that. I'm isolating the variable right now, Ruben R. We're going hard to the thumbnails. We'll see how much. I mean, the click-through rate. You guys want to see some data? You guys want to? I know a lot of you here for the AI stuff, and I want to keep showing you AI stuff, but are people curious about like kind of the background of things and how things work on the back end of YouTube? I don't know if people are curious about that. You want to see my YouTube backend, people? Who wants to see my backend? You want to see some YouTube backend stuff? All right, here we go. So this was my last video, the first time I used this thumbnail outsource person. We're doing good. 3 out of the last 10. So you obviously want a 1 out of 10, which means it's the best performing the last 10. But the click-through rate is up for 1 day and 37 minutes. The views are up. That's good. Average view is down. I think there's a couple things behind that. One, it's a shorter video. Typically my video is like 18 to 20 minutes long. This was a 12-minute long video. So it is a little bit shorter. Also, I don't think it's that compelling of a topic. The ChatGPT App Store. I don't think people were like rushing to YouTube to listen about the ChatGPT App Store the last few days. So I think that impacts it too. So I don't know, but the click-through rate's up. Let's see. Yeah, click-through rate's up. So it's looking good. A little bit above average on views. Watch time about average, just because this is a much shorter video. Subscribers have been good. It's been good subscribers. We got 1 day getting 122 off it. That's pretty good. It's interesting. I sent this video out in my newsletter to like 40,000 people. I guess not many people click the link because not too many people are coming from external. External's not even like at the top here. See more. Only 129 people came from external. Oh, they don't even really watch it. Wow, they have the shortest watch time. So maybe I don't even send it out. Anyway, let's get back to AI. I don't know if you guys are just curious about the back end of how all this works. Let's go back into Claude Code, huh? Time's at 1:33. 2 hours. I usually only try to stream for an hour. We've gone 2 hours. One of my clients told me good thumbnail design finds a good, consistent thumbnail. Oh, I already did that. I think you also get an editor start giving you templates so you have a bunch to choose from. I think you can also get the editor start. What, for the thumbnail, Ruben? I'd only spend a little on an editor. The outsourcing and buying yourself time is the most valuable thing. I loved seeing the back end YouTube stuff. All right, good. I don't know if that was interesting to people. Don't stop it. 129 isn't nothing. Split test different email call to action. Don't stop it. 129 isn't split test different email call. Okay. I'll try that, Ruben. Thank you. So 2509 can take up to 3 images in Comfy UI. So your first image would be a variation of your face, and one would be your background, and you would prompt yourself into with the white outline. Okay. And how I haven't used Quen too much. Are you you just go to their site, or are you using locally? What are you doing here? Quen image edit 2509 multi-image support. Improve consistently. Can I just do it inside Quen chat? It looks like I can. Okay. Is Quen free? Should we? Here we go. Let's do this. And I'll keep building this poly market on live stream. So if you're super into the poly market thing we're building, keep coming back. Turn on notifications. I'm using Quen 2509 Comfy UI. Quen is free. Let's do this. Let's take my last thumbnail, or one of my last thumbnails. Send this image straight to China. All right. Let's see here. Let's image edit. And what'd you say? So your first image would be a variation of your face, and one would be your background, and prompt yourself. All right, let's just say, give the person in the thumbnail a white outline. See how it does. So this was the original. Oh, I already had a white outline. Damn it. All right, let's just see what it does anyway. You have the editor give you the project files, then soon you'll have like 5 or 10 templates along with the orange background thumbnail. Okay, so he's sending me, yeah, that'll give you the project files. So like what, like the Photoshop with all the different things in it? Log in or sign up to chat with Quen. Can I just stay logged out? Okay. Oh, so it did give a better white outline. It did give a better one. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what else we can do. How else can we improve this? Take out the GPT-5 codex generic logo I put in there with the black background, and replace it with a bold OpenAI logo that looks like it's flying across the screen. Quen is so much better than even Nano Banana. I will die in a hill. So yes, it's better than 4.0 Imagen. Okay. Quen image edit base is not 2509. Oh, so I'm not using the one I should be using here. That's nice because my face doesn't look any different at all. That's good. Oh, did I hit send here? What's going on? Please upload the image you'd like to edit. Oh, I can't just keep. Okay. But I'm not like really a Photoshop guy, Ruben R. I don't use Photoshop too much. I start editing my thumbnail on Quen, and the stream 15 more people pile in. Should I start editing YouTube thumbnails now on stream? Is this what the people want? The people want Quen image editing tutorials? Is this where the money is? Oh, wow. I mean, did I misspell OpenAI? No, I said OpenAI. I put it OpenAX. That still looks pretty nice. Let's just keep editing it. How else would you improve this thumbnail to get more people to click? I added you on Discord. We can totally talk about this stuff sometimes. Yeah, and the guy who comes in and asks, does it bounce, is now my most valuable photo editing resource in my live stream. Oh, how the turns table. All right, Yen. I haven't responded to a Discord DM in like 4 years, but I'll hit you up. How else would you improve this thumbnail to get more people to click? And it just takes my face and makes me smile. Which would you guys be more likely to click? Me looking like I'm about to eat a lollipop, or me not actually looking like me at all but smiling? I got some nice teeth in this one, though. My teeth are not that white. That's pretty. I drink too much coffee to have teeth that white. As we discuss AI, what's your vision for mobile app development using it? Can we truly build cross-platform apps without Xcode or iOS tools? Well, I mean, to build iOS apps, you need Xcode. Like, it's Apple's closed garden. You absolutely need it. So, but you can build React Native apps in and then ship it into Xcode. You certainly can do that. Yen, can I add you on Discord? Have some questions. Oh, Yen's the belle of the ball right now. I'd click the new one. Ruben likes the new one better. All right. I mean, it looks nothing like me. That's not what I look like, but we'll save it anyway. Let me save that image. AI thumbnail. All right, saved. All right, how do I just chat? I don't want to do image edit. I just want to say, how would you improve this? I just keep editing it. The logo says OpenAX. Make it say OpenAI. It works fast. The new one is on the next level. So you guys like this one way more. You just what? This one's way better because I'm smiling? Or are you talking about with this new OpenAI logo? Is that what do you like? What do you like? What are you guys freaking creaming about over there? What do you like? What do you like so much better about this one? I'm not into the orange either. Purple gradient. Well, I do orange because it stands out. You don't see any other thumbnails with orange. Wow, they fixed it. That's pretty good. You don't see many other thumbnails with orange. That's why I chose orange. I'm not saying I like the new one better, but that I'd be more likely to click. Well, that's all that matters. It makes me more curious to see why the hell you're making that expression. God, YouTube is so cringe. All right. Wait, so this isn't 2509? How do I use 2509? How do I use 2509? Yeah, is this not it? Image edit. What is the difference between Sonnet and Haiku 4.5? And is one better than the other? Yeah, well, you're going to use more tokens on Sonnet. So it's going to do more thinking. It's going to think deeper about things. It's going to have bigger, more parameters. So it's going to use more information. So, you use Haiku for the lighter tasks and you use Sonnet for the heavier tasks. I'd use Sonnet for planning when you're building an app, use Sonnet for plan mode, and then use Haiku for the execution. Because Sonnet will make the really complex plans, and then Haiku will take those complex plans and build them out for you. In Comfy UI, go to Browse Talent. Let me go to Comfy UI. Comfy UI is free. The most powerful open source node-based application for generative AI. Let's go to Comfy Cloud. So I got to download it. I'll download it after this. I haven't used this before. I'll download and use it. Next live stream, we'll use Comfy UI. So just offline, and it uses the Qwen 2509 model. Okay. All right, guys, we are 2 hours in. I am starving. I've never used Comfy. I'm a Claude. I just do Claude. Dude, I don't really mess with video gen. I don't really mess with photo gen. I don't do any of that stuff. You better hit me up, bro, so I can show you some insane workflows. All right, I'll hit you up on Discord. I'm going to order lunch. I'm going to order the biggest chicken parm you've ever seen in your life. What, are you going to be under pending? Yan Rabman? There you are. I accepted your Discord. I'm going to order a chicken parm. I'm going to eat it, but I'm going to get back to work. This was a great live stream, everyone. Everyone make sure subscribe, turn on notifications. Make sure to turn on notifications because I live stream at random times throughout the week. I'll have a set schedule eventually, but right now I don't want a set schedule. Right now I'm just doing some experimentation. So turn notifications for next time I live stream. I'll put out a new video maybe tomorrow about Haiku, so that'll be good. Newsletter, link down below in the description. Sign up for Build It, the Build It newsletter. Ship It. No, Ship It. I don't even got the name of my newsletter right. Ship It newsletter. Link down below. Number 14 newsletter on Tech Substack. I may have changed my mind. I think you have a good thing going, prompting yourself new thumbnails. Oh, so you like what I'm building here. All right. You can go crazy with all the options. Just stick to the best you know. Yen's the spell of the ball over here. All right. This was awesome, guys. I really appreciate everyone that came by. Thank you. I try to live stream 1 or 2 times a week. I just build out cool apps. So come by again to everyone who came by. You're in the Fin Fam. If you watch this live stream, if you're one of the 54 people here right now, you're in the Fin Fam. I appreciate you. If you watch the replay, you're also in the Fin Fam. I appreciate you. Subscribe, turn notifications, leave a like, do all those things. Love you all. Thank you all. See you in the next live stream. See you in the next video. Talk soon. Peace. If you have any feedback for the live stream too, hit me up on X. DM me on X and give me feedback too. If you have any recommendations or anything, happy to take your recs. Love you all. See you soon.